Thanks for tuning into the Hidden Tracks podcast. You can find us wherever you find podcasts or listen to music. When you have an opportunity, please give us a 5-star review, write a little note, tell us how we're doing. We really appreciate it. It helps us keep this thing going. If you want to reach out to us, you can find us at Facebook at Hidden Tracks. Instagram is at HiddenTracks99, and if you'd like to send in submissions or talk to us or give us any feedback about what we're doing, our email is myhiddentracks99@gmail.com. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the show. What's up, everyone? I'm here with Pat and Kris from the awesome band SEAHOLM out of Michigan, a band that was sent to me by someone. Couldn't get enough of it, and now they're here on the show. Like we always do, we reach out to those people that are creating the music that we're falling in love with. So, Pat and Kris, welcome to the show.
Hello. We're happy to be here.
Hello. Like I said, someone sent me your awesome new album that was released over the summer. It's Raining Outside. Why don't I guess, Pat, why don't you give me a little background real quick on how things came together for SEAHOLM?
Yeah, so it's so weird to talk about it because it took a while to make. It's one of those, a lot of bands, when COVID started, they went in, worked on a lot of great albums. This was one where it was like, yeah, even though it was recorded over COVID, we kind of had it for a while, like even before Kris and Austin, were in the band. So it kind of started like, SEAHOLM's been a band for, I don't even like 6-7 years at this point, something that me and some friends started up in college. We had some music that we really liked, and eventually reached a point where it was kind of just me and the project, and there were some songs I was putting together. They kind of meant, it was a pretty emotional album. I'm sure anyone who listens to it probably like, wow, let's make sure you're mentioning that in therapy. But it's, it was something that I was still, proud of. I workshopped it with a lot of talented people, and then eventually Kris and Austin got into the project, and they brought their own kind of spin on things. And so it was kind of a cool, first 2 years maybe of getting some of the ideas fleshed out. And then once they hopped on, we really worked hard together, and we're proud of where it ended up. There's a lot of fun surprises and crazy things. We have, a Mickey Mouse guitar is our fun fact, where it was do you want to explain that, Kris?
Mickey Mouse guitar. So there's this guitar in the studio that Austin had. It's Austin's studio, so it's full of Austin's toys and whatnot. And there was a guitar. It was a Mickey Mouse guitar because there's Mickey Mouse stickers all over it, and they
like a toy guitar.
Yeah, like a toy guitar. Like with buttons, and it doesn't really make much sense. But they put this modulator thing in there, so when you put it up to a source of light, the pitch bends. So we set up a lamp in a dark room, and I plugged in it, and there's actually an input to this Mickey Mouse guitar, and I would keep pressing the buttons randomly as I kept getting closer and farther away from the light. So the note is just pitch bending the whole time, and it sounds like a fever dream. And there was a point where everybody got mad at me because they were like, Kris, please, Kris, someone stop Kris. And I was just going off. Yeah, but it made it into a song.
Yeah, imagine, you go to the restroom, it's a long day, you come out back to see what everyone's working on, and then they're just huddled in this dark room around the lamp playing with this children's toy. And I kind of question if I had fallen asleep at that point.
Well, hey, listen, it's not called the Magic Kingdom for nothing. I mean, that's magic comes out of Disney, right?
That's a good point. Yeah. The magic of Walt Disney. They're all wonderful people there,
right? Great people. So with the new album, I mean, you mentioned with Pat, with Kris and Austin coming into the band, some things changed, and you can hear that, especially re-recording of Cough Syrup. And was it something when they first came in that you felt immediately with the feeling of the songs that you had already had?
It's cool because I've had the opportunity to play with so many awesome musicians, and it's always really cool to see like a musician's take on something. I'm someone who, when I bring the songs to them, I was like, I like these parts. Obviously, we want to keep, I have the basic idea, but like throw in some fills, throw in like a cool walk part on the bass. Let's throw in some stops. And so when they came on, I just kind of immediately felt, changes in a good way. Like, Kris, credit to you. You're a very tight drummer. I think that was like, we were able to kind of like speed things up in a really still tight, cool way. Austin has so many crazy ideas that are like beautiful in a very crazy way. Very,
True.
yeah.
But I also got to keep them in check sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know. We got the JFK voice on the album. That we got some weird stuff. But
yeah, there was a point. There's a song. It was the first single we put out was Weatherman.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had it all done and whatnot, and then Austin goes back into the vocal booth and goes, wait 1 minute, press record, and started doing this like boop 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 boop, and then he goes, all right, now rewind it and press record again, and like in between each of the boops he just did, he did beep boop beep boop, and like that's how the start of that song, there's like this weird like boop beep beep boop beep boop. Yeah, it's like
I can't do it. I can't even do
out.
it.
And at first we were like, kind of, I don't know. It kind of reminds me of like that thing that Jonathan Davis from Korn would do. But so we were on the fence. We were like, then we're just gonna take that out. And then it actually stuck, and we ended up keeping it. And now we actually do it live when we play the song.
Yeah,
I hope you do it better than both of you just did it. So
absolutely. Well, I don't do it. I don't do the part. I watch in awe kind of as they do it, and I enjoy it.
Well, I mean, a labor of love to get this out. I mean, as you said, this is one thing that is hard for me to understand when it comes to bands who, when you're creating music and then you're just sitting on something.
Right.
I mean, how can either of you explain to me how hard that is to just be like, yeah, it's done, but no one gets to hear it?
Oh, it's hard. It's especially when it's something, so personal, like with the lyrics, like I mentioned earlier, like it, a lot of very, very on the hard on the sleeve kind of lyrics at times. And so it's, it's this weird mental game at first, even before you're recording things, of like, how can I get myself to the point where I feel comfortable sharing like such intimate parts of myself with others? So that's always like a weird, it's one thing to share it with your close friends, but then it's another to put it on the internet where anyone can listen to it. So that's always a hurdle. But then there's also, the actual technical side of it too, where it's just, the like boop boop idea. That came on like, the end of like a day where we just had a lot of sessions where we would go into the studio and just kind of sit with the songs and just, all right, what else can we add? And even now we practice the songs and we can think of new things. We're like, oh dang, that's badass. Like we should have done that. And it's so hard to find that point where you can stop and kind of release it. And I'm kind of very happy that Kris and Austin joined when they did, because not only did they help with a lot of the music and a lot of other wonderful things, but I think Kris especially helped really drive it to like, all right, I feel like we're at a spot where it's going to be not that like it's as good as it's going to be, but like, it's kind of diminishing returns of like, we could add 100 other things, but that's just kind of the nature of music. Sometimes the live performance being different is kind of a fun thing. So yeah,
when is something done is a big thing, but
especially art, like it's never...
how much paint do you add to that canvas before it's ruined?
Exactly. And there was a few people, we would get a bounce and it's not actually done, not all the things are in there, but I was I'd send them to a few close friends. I'm sure other musicians can relate, like, oh, we got this bounce from the studio, let me send it to Jimmy and see what he thinks, or
do the car test,
or someone that you can trust, that you can say like, hey, I know you're also a musician and you understand like this isn't done, it's not mixed, but we just were in the studio. And I'd send it to a few people just because I was a little too excited.
And that helps though, like getting that Like I would do the same. Like I think you probably sent it to more, but I still sent it to some close friends and was like, you're people who can listen to it and will give feedback on whether or not you think it will be done. I think that's an important kind of filter there at the end.
Yeah, but also you have to take into account, I mean, this is your labor of love, right? This is your heart and soul that you're putting out. The thing also that you said, sitting on something that is very personal to you, what you have to understand as an artist is once you put it out, it doesn't matter how personal it is to you anymore because it's not yours. It takes on a different meaning for the person who's listening to it.
Yeah.
It means completely different aspect from someone listening to the song than the person that wrote it. That's why sometimes like the storytellers or someone goes deep into what the song is about, why they wrote it, what they're going through. Sometimes I don't want to hear that because then it ruins my meaning.
Right. Music's subjective.
I'm a big advocate for that. Like it's like how you said, like sometimes it's not good to hear the artist explain what the song was initially about. Like I love like when you go to, say you're at a show, and I hate when the artist does this, when it's like between every single song they go, this song's called this and it's about this, and then they go and play it, and it's just like, honestly, just play the song and let me, the listener, like try to figure out what you were trying to figure out, and maybe it means something different to me. And like, yeah, like you said, it's like a song's not yours anymore because it can mean something completely different to the listener once you release it into the world.
Even some of our old music, people will, like a couple months ago, someone was like, yeah, I love listening to this, like Black Vans in high school. And I was like, number one, high school, I'm getting old. Number two, like, it's just a cool, I don't know, it's a cool feeling of like songs that, we don't really play as much anymore, but still it means something to someone else. And that's kind of like, it's this, I don't know, it's a cool feeling there.
Yeah. I mean, that's the purpose of creating too, right? It's to invoke a feeling, not only in yourself, but the most important part is invoking that feeling in someone else. And it doesn't matter what that feeling is. It's just as long as they have a feeling.
Yeah,
exactly.
So feelings aside, I mean, you mentioned high school, so let's dial back even further.
4 years, all right.
Yeah, let's dial back further, and I'll start with Kris. I mean, there's two pivotal points that I like to find out in people's lives because they were very important to me in my life when it came to music, and it was when you're a child and you hear music for the first time and it finally clicks. When it's no longer something that is a simple cartoon theme song, but even that could have been the song that clicked in your head that music was something. And then the second portion is when you find your own type of music you're going to love to listen to. Do you remember those moments?
Oh, okay. Well, it's weird because I never really got into playing an instrument until like late middle school, like 7th grade into high school. I don't know. I had such a short attention span and didn't really have time to like learn anything, but music was always something that I loved. Like I always wanted to be when I was younger, a voice actor or like doing cartoon voices, or even
that makes so much sense.
I wanted to be like a radio announcer or something. So I would grab we had this radio, and we had a bunch of blank tapes at my house, and I would put the tape in and I would just like record the radio, and then eventually I would me and my cousin would get together and we would create these like fake radio station like yeah, you're listening to 98.7 The Rock. I'm here with Nick Buck, and then we would like go back and forth, and we would have like fake interviews with people, and then we would take a break, and whatever was on like the radio station, we would just like we would just like you press play and record at the same time, and you would record the radio.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Yeah, so I had a bunch of cassettes. I wonder if I can still find one and
sample it.
Do like radio.
Yeah, those are great like intros to songs.
7-year-old me doing like a fake radio station with my like 9-year-old cousin Nick, and then
special guest today, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic. But then I guess you can like when music first like hit for me was probably 6th grade in middle school. My sister was like 3 years older than me, so her friend Bert, it was like the first time I ever listened to heavy music. He was like, "Oh, what are you listening to right now?" And I was like, "Oh, I like, Fall Out Boy, and I really like Taking Back Sunday and the Foo Fighters at that time." Like, and then he was like, "Oh man, that's not heavy enough." And he, the first time I ever heard Black Dahlia Murder was my sister's friend Bert. He had long, frizzy blonde hair, and then I think he showed me Chiodos and the number 12 Looks Like You, and it blew my mind. I was like, oh my god, music can get like scary, but I liked it. And then you bring it full circle. I actually work a part-time job with the guitar player of the Black Dahlia Murder now, so I'm like,
In
what?
heaven.
Who is it? It's kind of crazy.
I mean you talk about that full circle. There it is. I mean, that's awesome. And I mean, I love your description and listen, you may have a future in voiceovers. I mean, of doing Bert's voice. I don't even know him, but I already picture him handing that to you with his blonde, long frizzy hair and that voice he just threw on.
Chris's Joe Swanson voice from Family Guy is just, you want to, you got to do it.
Okay, well, now I got to do it. So that's my only good impersonation. All right, here we go. Hey, Peter. Bonnie's pregnant, Peter. Yeah, I'd know because I'm a cop, Peter. Yeah, Joe Swanson from Family Guy. There you go.
There you go. Nice. Now,
imagine being on stage. You're like tuning your guitar, getting ready for the next song, and you just hear that coming from the speakers.
Everybody in the room, like who may not be looking at the stage, is just like, "What the fuck is going on right now?"
Why is Patrick Warburton here?
Yeah. Oh my god. So, Pat, how about?
Yeah, I love that question. Mine's not nearly as interesting, but I mean, like I mean, growing up, I latched onto a lot of like the music my dad liked, for the most part. For some reason, I was like this edgy little jerk when it came to Phil Collins, and then did not. I was like, oh, I hate Phil Collins, and did not appreciate Phil Collins until the last year. But I'm glad I do now. But like
I mean, Phil Collins. I mean, you're going to touch on something like that, and Phil Collins is he's a Disney character because he is magic and he has done a lot of those soundtracks. But that voice of his is amazing, and I grew up with it. I was an '80s, '90s kid, so I mean, Phil Collins was everywhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm glad that you've latched on now in the past year because he's a treasure.
Yeah, I looking back, I'm like, why did I not like this? It's kind of stupid of me. Like I listen to the songs now and I'm like jamming along. I'm like, I remember these. Why? I'm sorry, Dad. This is my forum to apologize to him about the Phil Collins hate.
The man's still not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So
what?
Yep.
Wait, is Genesis though?
Genesis is, but he's not. Peter Gabriel's in as a solo artist.
Wait, Peter Gabriel's in it, but oh my gosh.
Yep.
That's so weird. But anyway, I tracked always with the Phil Collins. Always happens. Imagine being on stage, Chris is ready to play his drums, and then here's me talking about Phil Collins. That happens too.
I need to see that show then.
But yeah, a lot of, my parents' generation of music. So I really liked the Eagles growing up. My dad always loved them. That was, I think, my first real concert, if I don't count Blues Clues when I was 4. Although that was pretty cool from what I vaguely remember. And that was kind of the music that I started playing on the guitar. Like my parents got me, my brother played guitar, my brother older than him, played saxophone, and so they both my brothers playing music a lot. I got a guitar in 4th grade, learned a lot of the the beginner stuff, kind of learning the craft, if you would call it, and then the kind of thinking about my dad's music. And around 6th grade I wasn't really caring as much, and then music finally clicked for me. It was my middle brother. He was like, yo, this band, My Chemical Romance. Check this out. And I was like, oh my God. And it was a kind of another thing too, where when it's I feel like the music you grow up listening to, it kind of, something in your brain just kind of latches onto it. Because I remember like the first time I got really into Blink 182, because like they've always been like a band I've loved my whole life. The first time I sat down and listened to them, I remember just being like, wow, this is, I just have so many memories with this music playing. I kind of like this. And so I kind of latched on to pop punk there, which is not surprising for anyone who's ever met me. And yeah, I just, from there, that's just kind of what I loved. Like I really liked, pop punk style music. I really loved, like I said, My Chem, Blink 182. Green Day was a huge one for a while. Everyone's favorite middle school bands. And I've always loved them though. And as I've gotten older, my music has, my favorite quote unquote genre has, shifted all over the place. But like as I've grown to enjoy more wider music, it always still kind of goes back to those same kind of nostalgic tunes that I kind of connected with back in middle school.
Well, those are the memories, and that's that nostalgic feeling. And that's that, talk about it so often here is, music is the only thing that we have in reality that is a time machine. You can hear a song and smell and taste and everything that was going on when that song hit for you. Like, it's so important. And regardless of how your taste changed, like I'm hoping that when I'm in an old age home and I hear a face-to-face song that I loved in high school, all of a sudden it's just going to bring me back there, and I'm going to feel like I'm 17 again, and can only hope for that, and not the dementia part.
Exactly. Yeah, it's cool. Like I have I have a vivid memory of, like, when you said that, I thought of that all these that Killer song, all these things that I've done. Like I have such a vivid memory of like watching like a fireworks at the Spree with my brother, like when I was like 5 or 6, and I always think of that song, and it's just like, it's always been a song I've loved. And I don't know, yeah, you're right, the nostalgia part, it is this weird time capsule.
Yeah, like that Eiffel 67, is that I'm Blue, is that what it's called? I'm blue, da ba dee da. I vividly remember kindergarten gym class and everybody just playing tag, and I'm just like, damn, this song goes. Kindergarten, I remember, I was just like, that was my favorite song. That song just went in. And then for some reason, I forgot who sang it, but it was the how bizarre, whatever that song was in the 90s. I was like, yeah, that song's awesome.
I mean, it could still be awesome if you listen to it.
True. We just got to find it.
I hope so. Yeah.
I mean, it's not hard to find. I mean, How Bizarre is probably, you just type it into your Spotify. I think it was OMC or something.
Okay.
We're going to have to jam it after this.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to put your song at the end of the show. I'm actually going to put that now.
Perfect.
With a Joe Swanson lead in.
Oh, yes.
Now, Pat, you mentioned your first concert, and this will go to you too, Kris, but do you remember, your first concert, what was the first concert you got to choose to go to? Ooh. Besides Blue's Clues?
I'm trying to think back. It's got to be one of the pop punk ones, because I vividly remember. I think it was Green Day. I think it had to be Green Day, because when I got into Blink, they were broken up. R.I.P. But they're back, but not the same. But I think it had to have been Green Day at like one of their big stadium shows. I think it must have been right around 21st Century Breakdown, and that was just a spectacle. Like Green Day's songs and like their live performance is always. I think that definitely led to me wanting to do live music a lot more, even though I was like a shy little book nerd who, don't let the pop punk make you think I was like this edgy kid. I was definitely like a goody two shoes. So I was just like, wow, this chaos is kind of new to me, and I kind of love it. And yeah, that just always, I'm feeling nostalgic now thinking back on it. That was like they always would do I like Bullet, the what's their live album or whatever was another one of my first like you know, we talk about like what's one of the first albums that click, and I just remember that was another one my brother kind of showed me, and I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what 11-year-old me needs right now.
It's amazing how that happens, right?
Yeah.
So, like, as soon as you hear something and it just clicks with you, and you never knew you were searching for it, and it's just handed to you, and it's gold.
Right. Hey. We have a special guest who has arrived. Guest? Yes. Our special guest is the third home themselves, Austin Stowosic.
Turning that microphone, Austin.
It's me, the three home.
Well, welcome, Austin. We're already into this, so I'm not going to ask you any questions. I'm going to just stick with the two guys.
You don't get any questions.
You get zero
give you
questions
any
now.
answers. I won't tell you nothing. I'll keep my mouth shut.
Nice. Well, let's go right to you then, since you're here now, and you got to dive right in. Two important moments in your life is first time music clicks for you, and the second is when you find your own music that clicked with you.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. The first time music like clicked for me, it was probably like the first time I heard Green Day.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm going to be honest with you. And you literally just said that. No, I can't steal Pat's answer.
No, say it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll just say it. I heard American Idiot, and that was it. Because, like, I liked music. Like, I could tell you, like, as a kid, I generally enjoyed music. I was one of those kids that, like, I'd just be humming to myself or, like, singing along with stuff on the radio. But I didn't really care about the music I was listening to. You know, I just tune into any old radio station, and, like, I just was a fan of that thing called music. But then when I first heard American Idiot, that was an example of, like, a band that was making specific kinds of music that I was, like, very into. Like, I bought the CD, I analyzed the lyrics, I'd listen to it at, like, you know, like 1% volume on my little, like, alarm clock CD player, because, like, the lyrics had cusses in it. My parents were gonna, like, find out I was listening to this, like, immoral devil's music. I mean, it kind of was like that because I grew up going to, like, Catholic school and stuff. So, you know, there was this sort of, like, forbiddenness to the music, even though, like, you know, as I grew up, Green Day is, like, the most tame like shit I've ever listened to. Now, like, you know, now I'll be listening to, like, Melt Banana and, like, Mr. Bungle. Yeah. It's like, and I think my parents' heads would have exploded if they caught me listening to that when I was, like, 10.
Hey, I had to trade my my Beastie Boys license to ill cassette tape. That's how old I am. I had license to
Whoa!
I had to trade it with a youth pastor for a Michael W. Smith tape because Beastie Boys, you know, had a lot of swears in it, and I was
Michael W. Smith. Wow, what a specific reference from the CCM world.
Well, I will never forget it. Like that's a moment in my life where I'm like, it still scars me.
My heart hurts.
Wait, did you ever get it back?
No, I had to go buy it again later on. But yeah, no, like I had to give it to the youth pastor, and then he gave you a Christian rock tape.
That is, like, almost the exact kind of trade that I would have had to have made with my parents, because they were a huge fan of that guy. Like, we had, like, all of his albums. I'm not even joking.
See how people connect over the craziest shit? Yeah, no, listen, I'm thinking about it right now, and I'm, like, getting angry that my parents made me do that when I was a kid. But I mean, I get it.
It's not about anything
that guy
inappropriate.
Probably just wanted to have a good collection.
He just really wanted to play Brass Monkey.
He probably wanted that cassette and was just like,
This is how I get all my good music.
From the kids.
You're probably right.
yeah.
So, okay, Austin, you can stay on, so I'll give you a little more airtime. Pat brought up his first concert he ever went to, and then the first concert he ever chose to go to. Do you remember yours?
Honestly, my first concert, like, not even joking, was probably a Michael W. Smith concert.
Oh my God.
I'm just going to be real with you. I remember it was one of those, like, you know, those kind of joyless family outings where, you know, your parents really want to go and, like, you know, you're, you know, you better just go along. And, like, I don't know, he had some bangers. I appreciated I appreciated some of his music, but, you know, I was kind of oblivious to the whole, like, Christianness of it all because, you know, I grew up going to Catholic school. So, like, religion was just a part of my daily experience. But that was my first exposure to, like, the mega church Christianity where, like, oh, we're in, like, a stadium and everybody is, like, feeling the spirit. And, like, there's also this weird, like, support our troops kind of thing going on in the middle of it too. Oh, it was also, like, in the wake of, like, Columbine and stuff. So, you know, they were, like, referencing that, like, on stage and, like, you know, being steadfast in the Lord and all this stuff. And I'm just like, this is really weird. This is a very bizarre concert experience. And I don't think it's ever been topped by anything that I've seen, like, in a proper, like, stadium or whatever. But I think the first concert that I chose to go to was a festival that was being held at the Majestic Theater in Detroit called the Summer Slaughter Festival. It was a death metal and hardcore festival. I think they still do it.
Quite the 180.
I think they do. Yeah.
I think they still do. It's very different than it used to be, but, like, you know, we somehow, you know, just begged our friend's dad to drive us downtown, and we walk in and there's some, you know, strange rail thin white dude with dreads, like just going like to this, like, incomprehensible wall of guitar noise. And it was like, that was the kind of shit I was into when I was, like, 13, 14 years old. I got an album signed by that same band. I loved it.
I mean, Michael W. Smith to that. Yeah, that's a huge change in concerts. And listen, I get it. My first ever was Kenny Rogers. My second was Barbara Mandrell. My third, I think, was Michael W. Smith. And then my first that I got to choose to go to, I think, was a Def Leppard concert. So,
Whoa,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then the next one after that was Suicidal Tendencies in Queensryche, which, you know,
Whoa.
is weird.
That's sick, though.
That's cool.
Suicidal tendencies. Yeah.
So, Kris, I mean, you can jump on now. You didn't get the question of your first concert and the first one you got to choose to pick.
Oh, geez. 1 minute here. Well, the first concert it's kind of weird because it's like I grew up, my subdivision was right by the Civic Center. So, like, every summer they would have, like, a random band playing, and my parents would just take us. So we'd set up at the Hill, you know, Bozo the Clown's there. So it was like, I always saw, like, random dad cover bands and shit. But I remember, yeah, it was just, you know, just like, hey, all right. The kids are hula hooping and there's cotton candy and Bozo the Clown's there. And
Here's a Motley Crue cover.
But I do remember one vivid memory of that concert series. There was, like, a reggae band, and it was like, I don't know, it was like I had never heard reggae music before, so I was like, shit, this is kind of sick. So it was like, I don't know, the reggae music stuck out to me. But yeah, besides that concert series, I guess you could say the first show that I chose to go to then, what was it? It was weird because there was a point where me and my buddy, who was older than me, so he could drive, so he would take me to things, but he was like the guy who was like, I like hard rock music, and I listened to Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace and Nickelback. Nickelback was his favorite band, and guess what show he dragged me to? He's like, you take me to all these pop punk shows, I'm gonna take you to Nickelback. And it was the Dark Horse tour, and Saving Abel opened, and then Papa Roach played, and then Hinder, and then Nickelback played. And it was honestly kind of sick.
That was the most 2000 sentence you could have said.
Yeah, and it was like
I need to take a shower now. Like I feel violated with that lineup.
It was also very weird because it was like right when the first election of, it was like what, Obama and McCain. Oh no, it was like it, and like Papa Roach had like a shirt where it was just like no Obama, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? It was so weird. Yeah, Jacoby's just up there. He's like, yeah, you saw me in MTV Scarred. Make some noise. I vividly remember he told the crowd to piss on the guy next to you. And I was just like, wait, did he just tell us to like pee on people?
And people did it.
It was, yeah, but I do remember one thing. Nickelback played a Metallica cover of the Four Horsemen off of Kill 'Em All, and it kind of went. It kind of ripped. It
Talk
yeah,
about a band that shouldn't cover a band. I mean, that would have been my first choice.
They just put out a new song, and I heard a sound clip, and it sounds ridiculous. It sounds like they're gonna like go on tour Knocked Loose or something. I was just like, is this really what Nickelback's going for?
Hey, listen, if it's good, it's good. I mean, Hanson, the three beautiful young boys put out a new album this past year, and the one song that I heard, I've admitted it on the show, recorded already.
It's good,
pretty damn fucking good.
All right, it's funny you bring that up. I know, one of my friends actually records them. I wonder if he did that. Yeah, my buddy Ray. He's like, oh yeah, I record Hanson. You know Hanson, Mbop. I'm like, wait, what? I had a Mbop cassette. I had the cassette from that album.
So if you had to go into your archive then of shows you've been to, what's your favorite show you've ever been to?
Ooh, this is a good one. Okay. Dang. I got to go to the band Phoenix. They came to Detroit off of the Tiamo tour, which I got to photograph because I also take I'm a photographer, so I got to take photos. And they had, it's probably the craziest stage setup. They had, the whole floor was like LED like screens, so they had like images on the ground the whole time, and then they had a levitated on an angle mirror, so the mirror was picking up not only the screen that was projecting stuff so you could see it on the mirror, but you could see the members, and everything just looked crazy. There was like, it was impossible to take a bad picture at the show. And there was a point where the lead singer, like, he laid down on the ground, but then when you look up at the mirror, it looks like he's sitting on top of like a castle. And I was just like, what is that? It was unexpected. I didn't think they were going to be like as good, and as the showmanship was amazing. But yeah, that one was probably topped it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know you were probably thinking of something like, yeah, there was like 10 people at this one basement show. But Austin probably has something like that. I know Austin's always like, oh yeah, I saw this band play for like 5 people and it went off.
Yeah, I saw like Cat Fart at my brother's basement. It was sick.
Dude, wait, are we talking like early Cat Butt?
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Pat, how about you? Do you have a favorite show?
I feel like I've seen a lot of good, really, really, really good ones. I feel like I have to pick between a stadium type and then, or like, I feel like I need to give one stadium and then one kind of not stadium. Cause like, I just feel like it's hard to compare the two, like, cause it's like one, just like, cause I saw Paul McCartney when I was in high school, and that was really cool. I was glad to be able to see that in my lifetime. But in terms of like other, bands that you'd probably expect me to say, Cat Butt. Cat Butt at my friend Keith's, the dumpster behind his house. It was so great, so intimate. I it's hard. I feel like it's a tie between one of the times I saw Joyce Manor with Modern Baseball versus American football. I saw them a couple of years ago, and that was I love seeing American football and like watching their live videos because they're so talented, and it's just Mike Kinsella, the singer, just usually getting pretty drunk on stage, and you can usually tell the moment at which he's too far gone, and I love it. It's
I saw him incoherent, just him sitting on a chair with his acoustic open for Raina Maria, and literally 3 songs in, I just looked at my friend. I was like, "Well, now we got this for the next 25 minutes."
Such a visionary.
Same kind of show.
Such a visionary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mine. Awesome.
Oh. Well, I definitely have been in your shoes before watching that exact scene. Because I was a huge fan of Owen, so I went to a show that he played in Detroit, and I was like, oh, this is going to be so sick. The King of Wise just came out. That's a great album. He's got a whole band. And I'm like, no, I did not know what the Mike Kinsella experience was actually like.
It's pretty life-changing or altering for a show.
But the funny thing,
I've seen him kill, and then I've seen that, and I'm just like, wow.
I saw it
well,
the same
yeah,
night.
exactly, exactly what you're saying. Because I remember driving out to like Urbana, Champaign, or whatever with my friends when American football, reunited, and we like saw one of their very first shows, like at a festival, and it was incredible. Like, honestly, in my top 5 shows I've ever seen, just because it was like, whoa, I'm seeing this band get back together. This might be the first time they've played this music in a long time. Like, I'm in their like hometown or whatever. I just watched like Deaf Heaven play right before for some reason, and that was great too. It was very surreal. But like, I don't know. I think my favorite show, or at least one that I keep thinking back to, is this time I just wandered into a bar in Montreal, and I ended up watching the band Low. They're like kind of like a slowcore.
One of my favorite band in my top 10 favorite bands of all time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they were not on my radar at all. Like, yeah. I could probably tell you like, oh, I could vibe with this if it was on like passively in the background, but like, I just wandered in. I bought a ticket to the show. I had missed the opener, who happened to be Andy Schaaf, and like I really like his music now too. That's crazy that was the lineup. It was just those two. And I just walked up to the front of the stage, and I didn't know what I was in for, and I just like was vibing for like, it felt like an hour and a half or 2 hours, but I'm sure it was just like a normal set length. But it was just like, I'm a little buzzed. I'm listening to this amazing, just very just chill music. I was just completely open to the experience, which I can't say that for certain about a lot of shows I go to, because sometimes it's like the anticipation of like knowing what you're going to see, being a fan of the music, or like, if you're going to a show kind of on a lower like local level, or at a smaller cap room, there might be the social aspect of it too, where it's like, oh, I really am excited to see my friends, or I really hope I don't run into this person, or like, or nowadays, if I'm at a show, typically it's like, well, I'm playing with these two. So, your head is in the playing space more than it is the receiving the experience space. So that was one that I really, it stuck out to me, or it continues to stick out to me.
Yeah. And
Michael W. Smith.
Yeah. And people who don't know, I mean, the way you describe Low, I mean, it is a perfect way. You can just sit back and have a drink or a little buzz going and have Low on in the background, and your entire, like, your mind just goes somewhere else. Like, it's so transformative. And they've always been one of those bands that I've tried to get people to, I'm like, listen, I absolutely love them. I don't know. They're like, I just can't dig that slow fucking vibe. I'm like, it's so good though. And everything they've done since the day I first heard them back in the 90s, like, I just think the fact that more people don't know who they are is just crazy.
I think you just have to see them live, because I've listened to some of their recordings after that, and it doesn't do it as much for me. Like, I think just the experience of being there and just hearing it and just watching it kind of unfold, that's part of it.
Maybe their band, you gotta have to let the music embrace you.
Yeah, or just got to do like a Grateful Dead kind of thing and just follow them around, and
And that moment that you described, that you just, there's a show going on and you happen by taking and walk in. I mean, those are just amazing things. I used to travel a lot for work, and I was in Portland, Maine, and I'm looking, instead of hanging out in a hotel room, what's going on? Soul Asylum and Local H are playing at this small bar. And I was just like, this should be cool. I go. Soul Asylum was great, but Local H just blew me away. I was like, I never knew they were this good. Like, it's just hearing that. And then again, I listened to the album and it's completely different, but it was one of the most amazing things I'd ever seen. I was like, that was one of the fucking coolest things I just ever saw, that I really wasn't expecting or, had on my radar of tickets waiting to go somewhere.
That's sick. Like,
yeah, that's just amazing.
I'm trying to think of any, like when I lived in Ann Arbor, like going to U of M, there'd be a lot of like shows at the Blind Pig. That was like a pretty famous venue around there, and lots of random, like, I love that feeling too of like finding a good local band too. That's always fun, of like, oh, it's, a locals night kind of playing in the bar, and you kind of wander in. It's like, oh, hell yeah. Like these people are sick. Like, I'm excited to kind of see, like, and especially when we're also kind of on the local scene, that's kind of a fun feeling of like, I don't know. Sometimes, like post COVID, I can kind of feel disconnected sometimes. So it's kind of cool to see, get a different experience from bands like that.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Walking in and seeing a local band fucking rip, and all the people that are there, just the fact that everything, how it's all come back now, and I'm just so excited to be with friends who are strangers again, as I call them, because you're all there for the same reason,
right?
And just that it means so much more now, because I was worried I would never have it again.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, I literally was touring going into COVID, and then got home and COVID. And it was just like, wow, it's weird going from like so many shows to just nothing. It kind of makes you look at like kind of more appreciative of everything that goes into it.
Yeah. Now, here's a question for all of you, since you're all were individual musicians prior to coming together in this. It's a question I love to find out about. What was the name of your very first band?
Oh, God. Don't lie, guys. No lies.
Because I know some people could lie. They'd be like, oh, I'm going to say the second band, because the first one's real bad.
I need the first band name you ever had.
All right. I'll go first. Here goes. Kris is going first. I guess it's not that bad. It was called One Outlet.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Okay.
That's not terrible. I've heard some really bad ones. That's not terrible.
We did not play the Token Lounge. We could have, though.
Historic.
It's still there.
That's not a bad one.
Who's next?
I can go. So, okay, I have to give two answers, because when I joined, I technically joined my first band. It was like they had just started. We were all in like 8th grade. It was, when I joined it was called The Undecided. And we changed our name like 5 times in the span of 2 months. So I might as well just fire them off. Blue Maroon, because that was the colors of our 2 different high schools. Ours was blue. Our other guitarist was maroon. We did The Truth for about a day, and then we woke up the next day like, that was a bad idea. Let's see. Radio Attractive was one.
What?
And then we did The Stoics, and we were like, this doesn't feel right. And then we did Books on Tape. So we had like 7 different names before.
I'm guessing you had more names than songs too.
Completed songs, probably, yeah.
I always thought Books on Tape was a sick band name.
It was a good one. Once we finally,
Radio Attractive was good too.
After 7, it was just big Imagine Dragons fan. After 7, you know what they say, after 7 tries, you're bound to get it right. All right, Austin.
Oh, geez.
Oh, shit.
Oh my
shit.
God.
Oh,
Well,
shit.
I could wuss out of this one by technically telling you the name of my very, very, very first band, but it's nowhere near as good as like the first band that actually like I played shows with, I wrote songs for. We were called, I don't even know how to begin this. We were called the Pioneers for Sumo Rights. But of course, because this was like mid 2000s, all of the spelling was like leet speak kind of. So, but I mean, like, I don't know where my head was at back in those days. I think it was really we're just trying to be as like random as possible, or like just as
I'll
weird
fucking say.
as yeah, like. So in every show we played was just like, I mean, our songs were bullshit, they were terrible, and we were just trying to like troll the audience like every show. Did nothing about it aged well.
Wow. I absolutely, I just wrote that down because I love it so much.
Oh, thank you. Well, you know,
use right now.
genius is never recognized in its time.
No, it never is. All right. Well, Austin, you stay on here now because you just won the prize of that contest. Is there a band in your life that never lets you down? Like a band you just always turn to no matter what mood you're in, and it's just I don't ever like to categorize something as a favorite band because that's different. I have bands in my life that are my favorite, but I also have bands that just never let me down when I need them most.
Man, that's a really, really, really good question. I'm stalling for time by complimenting you on this question.
Definitely Weezer, because they're universally perfect.
So I feel like I have bands that have made albums that will never let me down, but I don't know if there's a single band in my life right now that like has just always been hitting it for me, because I'll go through a lot of phases, but I can tell you like with pretty clear certainty that self-titled Third Eye Blind never lets me down. I could spin that album like for the rest of my life. I will never get bored of it. I even like some of their other stuff too, but in terms of a band letting its fan base down, I mean, that's I think they're probably worse than Weezer. At least Weezer does some like fan servicey kind of stuff, you know. And
They both fired all their bands.
oh my god. But I think I used to feel that way about Radiohead. I mean, because that's a group where like almost every era of that band's just like masterpiece. Pablo Honey's fine, and like everything.
To me, Pablo Honey's my masterpiece.
Okay, yeah. So I've met some people who would feel that way about it, and I think you know there's definitely legitimacy to feeling that way about almost every single one of their records. The only ones that I'd have to say I'm not sure about are the ones I haven't heard, which would be anything that's recent, because I just haven't kept up with them.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with it. You know, them and Weezer, Tom York, and he writes so many songs all the time, and you know, it's just so crazy that these people write hundreds upon hundreds of songs and then try to pick what to put out. So now that they're as well off as they are, they just put it all out, and they're just like, whatever, it's either good or it's not. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I saw they did that with a lot of like OK Computer stuff. That must have been a couple of years ago or whatever. But I mean, they're usually a band that takes their time. I remember hearing that like some of my favorite songs, like off of In Rainbows, they'd been playing some forms of them live for like a decade. You know, I think like Nude was a song they were playing for like 10 years or something before it was ever on an album. That's cool. I think that's like props to them for, you know, being so serious about their craft. It just makes everything they do that much better.
Yeah, now the whole, you know, Weezer with what is it, the name of every month, and just putting out songs, and you know, Rivers Cuomo had said in the article, and you know, from Harvard Review or whatever, he's like, yeah, I write 380 songs a year, and I think
all of them are bangers.
Yeah, and this year he just put them all out month by month.
It's amazing, you know. And honestly, like, when are we going to get that Tom York Rivers Cuomo collab?
Oh my god, with Weezy.
if they make a sequel to Suspiria, maybe the two of them can like write the soundtrack or something, you know? Like,
Yeah.
oh man, thinking about Johnny Greenwood playing in Weezer, that would be insane.
Shit.
So we need to
They
start
have
writing
to
some
just have a
letters.
merger.
Start writing letters. I said letters, yes, or posting on Twitter or Instagram. I mean, sorry.
I mean, I think Weezer has proven to us if you tweet at them enough, they will do something.
Literally anything. I tweeted at Rivers and he sent me his social security number back.
So Pat, do you have a band in your life that never let you down?
I mean, Austin kind of said a really good point about how there's albums that never let me down for sure. Like, so Jimmy Eat World, I would say, I mean, I've never had an album that I consider bad from them. Some just really click a lot better for me. Like, especially some of the early stuff. Like Clarity, like that was one where, like,
Perfect album.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect way to say it.
They were just here yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just I remember finding that album like in high school and just like I would my room was across from my parents' room, so I would turn my lights off but I have like my bathroom light on so it would look like I was asleep but I wasn't. I would just like listen to that and I'm like, this is just so good. And just like that's always been an album that calms me down and like brings me to a good place. Honestly, like this question kind of makes me think like what's my like junk food band? Like what band can I just enjoy if I need to? Like, because I feel that way kind of about Blink, even though there's plenty of times they have let everyone down and are not very good in a lot of different areas. I don't know. It's just kind of, it goes back to the nostalgia thing you said earlier. I have so many, I feel like it kind of, like, for answering this question, kind of ties to like a band that just means a lot to you. And it, even though, like I said, they have pretty objectively bad stuff, go listen to Buddha and then try to try to get through two of Tom's songs. But yeah, I don't know. Just every now and then I can put on the like I can put on Enema of the State or like even just like the Tom, Mark, and Travis show, even though it has aged terribly with a lot of the jokes. So bad.
Oh my god!
If that was
some of the banter, if you just listen to the banter on the Mark, Tom, and Travis show, it is cringe. Some of the things that Mark is saying, like
all of them.
I mean, yeah, all of them.
It's obscene.
Even Travis,
yeah.
No.
The drummers. But yeah, I don't know. It's always been a band that just the nostalgia kind of brings me back to like a good place if I want to put on, Untitled and just listen to that.
Yeah, and I mean, some of those older things that are being new again, like you mentioned, Jimmy Eat World, saw them 2 days ago, and just have you heard the new song?
I don't think I have yet.
Just go search it out. It's fucking killer, and I'm so excited because they found their formula and they stuck to it for, I think, a little too long.
Yeah.
But the new song is so fucking good.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah, that's always my thing. Like, and it's hard because I feel like the more albums or music just a band releases, the harder it is to give a good answer to this question. Like at one point, I probably could have said Joyce Manor to this, but I don't know as much about. Like, I still like some of the. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like, because when you said that, I also thought, well, there's plenty of bands that have released one album and kind of effed off, and those have been amazing releases. But I don't know. A lot of ways to think about that one.
Yeah. All right, we're on to Kris,
little drummer boy.
All right, it's me. It's my turn. Yes, the bands that could never let me down. So I had a lot of time to think as you guys were talking, and there's so many bands that I could say. But I guess at this point I could say Paramore.
Don't they have that song? It's like, I'm not gonna let you down. So it kind of works out.
yeah. Paramore right now is great, especially if you see them live. They still do a lot of the old stuff and the new stuff. They got Zach Farrow back in the band, which is cool. So, Paramore. I don't know. They're not a band anymore, but there's this band called As Tall as Lions.
Yep.
And I miss the heck out of them. And then I found out that their singer is the mastermind behind Olivia Rodrigo.
Mm-hmm. And a
and
lot of people too.
and Caroline Palachuk, and so wait, let me give one more.
Better be a good one.
Honestly, Slipknot. New Slipknot's not bad. It's not bad. Still haven't seen them live though. Still want to see Slipknot live.
They put on a show.
Oh, I bet. Even in their older age.
We all get there.
I actually saw Korn recently, and Evanescence opened up for them, and it was fucking sick. Yeah.
Dang, the 2000s were awesome, man.
Yeah, man. Oh, and Helmet played.
Helmet
played.
I saw him a couple years ago. Fucking.
And honestly, a
Page
lot of
Hamilton
people
still
there
fucking kills.
were there for Helmet. Like everybody was like, yeah, like we love Korn, and a lot of people were like Evanescence, but even though they killed it, but a lot of people there were like, yeah, Helmet, man. Yeah, they're the real reason I'm here. And I was like, oh shit, okay.
That's the only reason why I would have been there.
Makes sense.
All right, so Kris, I'm going to stick with you. You got 5 minutes left before a meteor crashes into the Earth.
Oh shit!
Oh, not again.
And you have to listen to one song.
Ooh, yes.
What one song do you listen to?
It's probably Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears.
Good answer.
Yeah.
I saw them a couple years ago, and they still fucking kill.
I've seen live videos of them recently, and damn, they can hit like the vocal spots on those songs.
I was so amazed. I was like, how do I not go see them? They're playing 15 minutes from my house. Like, how do I just not go say I saw a tear? And I went and I walked out. I was like, holy shit, that was awesome.
Right, especially with like a lot of I've seen a lot of older bands now recently, and it's always the first thing to go, the vocals.
Yep.
You're just like, yeah, the instruments may sound the same and everything, and then you hear those vocals, and you're like, ooh, man.
Cries and Motley Crue.
Oh, dude, Jeff. Oh God, Motley Crue. That guy cannot hit a single note. And then I saw Guns N' Roses music recently, and the vocals, he's struggling too. But I saw Aerosmith video from like 6 months ago. Steven Tyler can still belt it. I am very surprised. He can still belt.
Well, he takes care of that voice with the mom scarf around his neck all the time.
The mouth. It's all about that mouth. He's got the biggest mouth in the game.
All right, Pat.
Yeah.
One song.
So you said 5 minutes, so I would probably just start Goodbye Sky Harbor and just let it play out while the meteor crashes. Jimmy Eat World's wonderful 16-minute song for anyone who doesn't know it. I always say look it up. Or I would listen to Constant Nothing by Joyce Manor about 3 times.
Austin.
Okay. I don't know. I think I'd probably listen to this song called This Is the Day by The. It's just kind of one of those new wave tracks.
Wow.
I feel like it'd be a pretty chill way to go out. And I just looked it up. The album version is 4 minutes and 59 seconds. So that meteor's hitting right after.
Is it like the Pink Floyd into Wizard of Oz, but with a meteor here?
Yeah.
Perfection. Now I'm going to go listen to that with a stopwatch in my hand and just wait for it to go off at that 5 minute mark and know I just died.
I'm never going to not think about that now.
Well, I'm glad we could do that. All right, so I don't know if this will be a different answer for all of you, but I'm going to ask, we're going to get back into the band real quick here. If someone never heard your music, you meet a stranger on the street, you tell them you're in a band, and I mean, you're probably going to judge them by what they look like because that's unfortunately, that's the way we do it. But if you had to play them one song of yours to say, this is who we are as a band, what song of yours would you pick to play for them?
I feel like my gut answer is Weatherman. I feel like that was one of the first ones we wrote together as a three piece. Like a lot of the album was written kind of just over time by me, but that was one where I had an idea, had workshopped it with some other folks, but it's vastly different now, and that I felt like it came together in a really cool way that kind of has, we talked about like the boops earlier, like that it has like instrumentals that we're proud of. Like I farted out a solo somehow that I enjoyed, and like we just put so many, like we were just proud of that one, but we also had a lot of wacky stuff on it too. So I felt like, I don't know, I feel like that's a good encapsulation of like we can jam, but we like to have fun. We don't take ourselves too seriously most of the time.
All right. Well, I don't want to cause any infighting if somebody has a different answer. Like Kris, I mean, is that, I don't want to cause any strife in the band, but would you play Weatherman, or do you have a different song that you would play for somebody?
I want to say Weatherman because it's my favorite as well. And I think it's the most well-rounded medium song that you can get from us. Like from the high up, like from the very highs that we can get to the very lows we can get. I think Weatherman is it encapsulates everything. But if I'm trying to, in these days with short attention spans and, the doom scrolling and whatnot, I think Cough Syrup would be the initial grab and quickness that a lot of strangers would be attached to more.
That's a good one too, because I'm proud of how the music video for that one turned out too. I think that's
the video is cool.
Video.
Yeah.
I would pick Weatherman because of the music video for that song. I mean, among other things, but like, I don't know. I think you just gotta like understand where a lot of the record seems to be coming from, at least from my perspective. It's like we recorded it in the fall. It seems to have sort of like a wintry sort of feeling to it, and there's a lot of tracks that have some pretty heavy lyrical content, some pretty heavy dark themes, and we sort of incubated this record during a really crazy time in history.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, just look it up a little bit later. Google's your friend.
I heard that Rivers Cuomo is releasing 360 songs.
Oh yeah, I think Dr. Fauci said that. That's your booster. Go listen to Weezer. But no, I mean, we didn't even have like a music video per se planned for that one. But we had our friend shoot a bunch of like drone footage of us like hanging out like on a trampoline, doing a bunch of like just messing around, just being friends. And then Kris just whipped this video out of nowhere, out of all that footage. And he just showed it to us in like a private YouTube link. And it was bright and sunny. It was like the middle of summer when we did all of that. And the music, it's bouncy and it has this energy to it. And it just feels like you're waking up from like a long hibernation and like everything's going to be okay. And it just like, it hit me in a really profound way. It was like, wow, we fucking made that. And it's like, it made me smile. Like, this is a genuine, like, I'm feeling this genuine euphoria, just enjoying what we've done. So I would wholeheartedly share that song with everyone, because that's us coming together to make something that's, I think, perfect to us in our own way, very balanced.
I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome to hear that feeling. I mean, because now I have that feeling, which is, so crazy to get something like that, but something that you guys create that you can sit on and that you've poured over sometimes gets pretty tedious, especially when you listen to it over and over and over again, and you can all come together and kind of put that out there for different reasons too. That means something to you, that's pretty fucking awesome, guys.
Yeah. And it's cool. It kind of ties to, like earlier you said, like sitting on the releases. It's like, you have to fight against when you're sitting on the release, like making it feel like something that, sorry, my cat is decided. I was trying to say something profound and my cat was like, I'm going to shit right now. So sorry if the listening audience hears Button making a mess.
No, it's totally cool. I smell it from here. We're good.
Oh yeah, me too. But yeah, it's like you kind of overthink it. I don't know. Who made me lose my train of thought? But yeah, it ties in earlier and like, I don't know.
Well, listen, now that things are turning around, the album's seen the light of day. I absolutely love it. You guys first appeared on the segment that we're going to move into here shortly, our weekly threes. But what do you have planned moving forward now that things are open? You can go play. What's coming up for you guys that you're excited about?
Everything.
Everything. Let's see. So we have we already have an album ready, pretty much.
We were like, oh yeah, 5 years to make this one. Let's do this one in 5 months.
Yeah, we literally just Austin was like, hey, I got some open time in the studio. You guys want to come in and just record? And we had nothing planned besides a Beastie Boys cover. We did Heart Attack Man. And then we just recorded whatever we had off the top of our heads and finished them. So that's called SEAHOLM America. So that's cool. We got a tour coming up in November 7th through the 13th with a New York, Long Island band called Inner Love. And we're just gonna do like some Midwest stuff with them for a week.
Nice,
which will be cool. Besides that,
Couple local shows.
a couple little local ditties in October, but you just honestly we're getting ready to move on to the next thing already, because we can't be stopped.
Well, listen, if it's any indication of what you've already put out this summer, I'm excited to see what's coming. So
to see home what's coming.
Exactly. So one of you right now take this opportunity to tell everyone how to find what it is you guys are doing, how to keep up with everything you're doing, all your handles and shit like that.
Oh yeah, if you want to keep up with SEAHOLM, we're on Spotify, Apple Music, SEAHOLM. Most of our handles are SEAHOLM Band, as on Instagram, Twitter. I think we're SEAHOLM Band MI for Michigan. So yeah, as long as you're typing in SEAHOLM Band at SEAHOLM Band at SEAHOLM Band MI, that's where you can find us.
Well, you might want to make sure you don't get SEAHOLM High School's marching band.
Yeah, so there's a high school also named SEAHOLM, and it was really good planning that it's within an hour of where we all grew up and live.
But none of us went to the high school.
But
Perfect
everybody
planning.
who finds us are like, oh, wow, nice guys. My wife went to SEAHOLM. Great song.
All right. Well, now's the time to pull out your phones to find out what music you've been listening to. But we are into our weekly 3 segment. It's 3 things that you're listening to, each of you, that you'd like people to check out.
Okay. I'm gonna say one right now. Our good friend Tyler Floyd, who also records at the same studio, who recorded our album, has a band called Parkway and Columbia, and he just put out a song called Jaw, which is about his double jaw surgery that he had during the time we were having him mix our album. But yeah, Parkway and Columbia's Jaw, that one's a banger.
Yeah. Great band.
I'm trying to think. I looked at my Spotify history trying to think, and it's a lot of in fitting with a lot of what we talked about. It's a lot of recent, a lot of 2000s pop punk. And I want to think of like a good local band. Austin, are you ready?
Oh, does it have to be a local band?
No, I think
Just anything you're listening to.
Want to get a good spread.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, I was panicking. So I don't know, man. I've been listening to this band from like the 70s called Big Star.
Alex Chilton and Chris Bell, one of my favorite bands.
Yeah, like they're definitely the definition of like a cult, like classic sort of rock band. And you listen to their music, and you're like, wait a minute, I've heard this song before. I just never knew who did it.
Mm-hmm.
Like That 70s Show
That
theme
70s
song.
Show theme song, yep.
Yeah, wild.
And if you want to hear an awesome album, go listen to Chris Bell's solo album. He only had one before he passed away.
Oh
What was-
yeah. I heard it was like he
Yeah.
was kind of like the genius behind a lot of their like.
Yeah, and Chilton was the crazy guy. You know, he was the crazy other guy in the band, but Bell was the genius. If you have time, watch the documentary on Big Star.
I watched it actually. I was
It's-
just thinking about it on the drive over because it was so good.
It's fucking brilliant, and you know, a forgotten 27 Club member, Chris Bell, as well.
Whoa.
Never forget.
Never forget.
Yeah. Mine. So one, I just wanted to say someone from around the area. I thought it'd be fun. I know a band that's awesome for, as weather's getting a little colder. Greet Death is a great band to kind of put on when you're driving around and the leaves are falling off the trees. They're this awesome band from, I think, Flint, right around these parts.
Flint,
yeah. So love them. Some other stuff that I've been listening to. I don't know why I've been on a kick of the Used lately. Just listening back to some of their old stuff, and then
I just saw them open for Rise Against.
that's
Ah.
awesome. Yeah, we were talking to someone about that, and that sounds like an awesome show. Rise Against is also I recently played. That's funny.
Crap.
Literally, yeah. Like I'll just read you some of these. This is funny. Taking Back Sunday, Lit, Bowling for Soup, Thrice, Foo Fighters, like really.
Like everything I used to listen to.
Yeah, this is
Holy
like
shit.
my freaking middle school, and then I
So you
guess
got SEAHOLM in there.
yeah.
You got SEAHOLM in there.
Well, yeah, I'm always all of those streams online are all just my computer streaming continuously.
Your phone screen's messed up.
I know. I told you. I need a new one.
I revisited Saves the Day in Reverie recently. Wow. If you hone in, if you listen to in Reverie, just try listening to the vocals. Oh my gosh, there's so many vocal layers. I did not realize how many harmonies and whatnot is on that album. It's crazy.
Nice. Anybody got anything else? Or are you good?
Yellow Card.
It's a guilty pleasure, I'd say. I can't. The violin guy, dude, doing the backflips. He's playing the violin. Always wearing like a Detroit Red Wings shirt for some reason. I think is he from here? Is that why? I don't know. Austin, do you have one more? No.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've been listening to this band from Boston called Pile.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I've been listening to them for a while, but like I kind of got back into them because they're doing a 10-year anniversary for one of their albums this year. I don't know. Like that's a band where like I don't know how to describe them. Like what genre are they? I have no clue. It's very angular, like angry, but not overly heavy. It's not metal. It's not quite rock. It's like kind of bluesy. There's some folk elements to it.
I put them as a true definition of the word of the combination of words post-hardcore. That I think there's that huge distinction that people don't ever really sit down about between emo and post-hardcore, and I'd put Pile as like a post-hardcore band.
Wow.
Even though post-hardcore took on the emo term, which emo is not a bad word, but like I think there is a distinction there. That's where I put them.
But I appreciate your insight on that. No, I mean, because I've truly like struggled with how to classify it,
Yeah. All right. So good list. My 3 for this week. This is where you all appeared a month or so ago when I first heard your album. So this week I have a band called State Drugs. The name of the album is Live, Laugh, Love. You may have the picture hanging up at your mom's house that says that.
Mom's house. Yeah.
Mom's house.
Yeah. They're an indie rock band from Denver. Try to meld, bunch of different styles of bands into their band, which is really cool. But yeah, State Drugs is one. Next is a band called Warm Thoughts. The name of the album is I Went Swimming Alone, another indie rock band. It's Elliot Babin of Touche Amore, the drummer of Touche Amore, his solo project. Really fucking good. Yeah. And last but not least, a indie rock band from New Jersey, my home state, band called Sleep In. The name of the album is The Stars on Your Ceiling. So those are the 3 that I have recently been listening to, and everyone should check out.
Very cool.
Hell yeah.
Save them on my Spotify. Give them a listen.
Hell yeah. Saving on the Spotify right now.
Nice. Well, Pat, Austin, Kris, mean this in the fullest sense. Thank you so much for what you've already created and put out into the world. We're excited for new stuff to come too. We appreciate what it is you all do as artists, and giving us something that is literally music to our ears. But we appreciate what it is you do as a band and individually for the music community and creating the music that you do. So thank you so much for that.
Well, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
No one's ever complimented me like that. I'm having a panic attack now.
Well, we truly mean it here, and we want good things for the bands that we absolutely love and feel people should hear and know about, and that's why we're doing what we do for bands such as yourself that are fantastic, and we just want more people to know about it.
Well, thank you.
Yay.
Sorry, the live studio audience. Quiet, guys. Come on, we gotta finish it.
Well, everyone out there in the world, you know what your job is to do next. You go out, listen to SEAHOLM, and have a great fucking time.
It's all in your head. Do you wish you were dead. 'Cause I know the feeling. It's all in my head. It's mind over matter. Does anything matter? I like to think I'm doing better, having worked on myself. It's progress still to just be getting by, but I still sometimes want to drink myself to death.
Thanks again for tuning into the Hidden Tracks podcast. We hope you enjoyed this week's show. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at HiddenTracks99. Also, send all your submissions myhiddentracks99@gmail.com. Tune in next week. You may find your new favorite band, and don't forget to go out and have a great fucking time.